All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to talk about something huge, something that's happening deep inside the engine room of global finance. It's a fundamental upgrade to the very language money uses to speak to itself. So that leads to a pretty big question, right? Why on earth would the entire financial world, an industry built on systems that are decades old, decide to completely rebuild its data plumbing? Well, the answer is this thing called ISO 20022. And let me tell you, it's not just some minor update. We're talking about the foundation for, well, everything. Real-time payments, AI-powered compliance. It's a total game changer, especially for the developers and IT teams in the trenches. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start with the problem. Let's take a look at the old way of doing things, the old messaging system. And honestly, it's kind of like trying to communicate by sending a really cryptic telegram. And this really shows you the difference. On the left, you've got the old Swift MT format. It's a bit of a mess. It uses these rigid, cryptic codes like 54A. I mean, what does 54A even mean? You'd literally have to go look it up in a huge manual. It's super ambiguous, which means people had to step in and fix things by hand all the time. But now look at the right. That's the new way. It's clean, it's structured, and it uses tags you can actually read, like creditor agent. Just by looking at it, you know exactly what it is. We're going from total guesswork to total clarity. So we've seen the problem, right? Now let's talk about the solution, the modern, global solution that the entire industry is getting behind. And that, of course, is ISO 20222. So what is this thing really? Well, the official definition calls it an open global standard for electronic data exchange. But here's a better way to think about it. It's basically a universal translator for finance. It creates a common dictionary and a common grammar, all built on XML. So now a bank in Tokyo can talk to a custodian in New York, and there's zero chance of misinterpretation. They're finally speaking the same language. So, what makes this so powerful? Let's break down the core principles. First up, richer data. You can pack so much more specific detail into every message. We're talking full addresses, unique identifiers, all the stuff that cuts down on ambiguity. And hey, all that extra data, it's gold for things like fraud detection. Second, it's a structured format. Because it's XML, it's just plain easy for modern systems to read and check for errors. And third, and this is the big one, you guys, global harmonization. The dream is to have one single consistent standard for processing securities everywhere. The same rules for everyone. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but what does this upgrade actually look like in the real world? In the day-to-day of custody and securities. Let's move from theory to reality. All right, let's take a look at settlements. In the old days, a settlement instruction was pretty bare bones with limited fields. But with the new CESO.023 message type, you can actually embed regulatory data right there in the instruction itself. For an IT team, that is a huge win. Compliance just got way simpler. And then there are confirmations. You used to get some vague status back. Now, with CESO.025, you get super detailed failure codes. This is massive because it means you can completely automate your reconciliation process. And the improvements don't stop there. Take reporting. A corporate action notification used to be full of ambiguous options. Now it's standardized with a Sieve.03 message. That just radically simplifies the logic you have to build into your corporate actions module. Same story for a statement of holdings. What used to be basic data is now a super rich, detailed report thanks to CES.002. That extra data is incredible for accounting systems, for tax, for valuation. The data quality just skyrockets. Okay, so let's get down to it. What does all this mean for the folks who are actually writing the code? Let's talk about the developer advantage, what this means for your code. For developers, this is, no joke, a total game changer. First off, schema validation. Because it's all XML, you can check if a message is formatted correctly before it even hits your business logic. You're catching errors right at the front door. It's also way more adaptable. You can extend it easily. And maybe most importantly, the data mapping is just so much easier. Mapping a field named amped to your internal amount field, that's common sense. Trying to remember what some cryptic code like field 54A was supposed to be, not so much. And this quote really hits the nail on the head. The point here isn't just about switching to a new format. It's about making that whole development process, that critical data mapping layer between your core system and the outside world, simpler, faster and way, way less likely to have those expensive, painful errors. But a change this big, it doesn't happen overnight. You can't just flip a switch. And that brings us to maybe the biggest challenge of all for IT teams right now, navigating the migration. The real-world challenge is coexistence. For the next few years at least, systems are going to have to live in two worlds at once. They need to be bilingual. They have to speak both the old MIT language and the new ISO 2202 language. Why? Because different markets, different partners, they're all moving at their own pace. So how are teams actually dealing with this? Well, the smartest approach is to build a translation layer. Here's how it works. You take that old MT message when it comes in, you run it through this translation engine, and out comes a beautiful, modern ISO 2022 message. That way, your internal core systems only ever have to deal with the new, rich, structured data. You're basically future-proofing your core. And let's be perfectly clear about something. This isn't some optional trend you can ignore. The quote says it all. ISO 20022 is the future state for custody processing, full stop. Every new project, every architectural decision you make from now on has to be built on the assumption that this is the one and only global standard going forward. So that leaves us with one big final question for you to think about. The new language of finance is here. It's smarter, it's richer, and it's the foundation for the next generation of financial services. So, is your architecture ready for the future?